Bonjour, Nindin, Magan Dug. I want to tell you that I'm extremely honored and humbled that I was elected to the position of the Tribal Treasurer, and I want to also thank Dennis, Ray, and Larry for their dedication, not only this past year, but over the many years that they've been involved in the tribal politics and also within the community. So, miigwech to all those individuals. I've learned over a number of years about how to look at things sometimes, and hopefully that it's in a good way. And one of the things that I've learned is in trying to serve in this capacity and being an elected official was the idea of trying to increase or have tribal involvement in our government and tribal operations from our community. And that's one of my little themes that I used. I did need to step back a little bit, and part of it might be just my own way of getting some things off and maybe a part of my healing process, but I thought I would share something that I went through within the past month, because it was a real major decision that was going on. And around June 17th, I had, as I was working out in the yard and mowing my lawn and stuff like that, I had decided that I was going to withdraw from running for Tribal Treasurer, and I was going to resign from being on the council, because I was at a point where I felt that it was very devastating for me personally. I didn't share this with anybody, I didn't tell anybody, but once I made the decision, I felt very good within my heart, mind, body, and soul. A lot of this had to do with the stress and pressure of our in-house and in-council and in-executive and in-open session fighting that we were doing, and the disagreements that we were having, and the experience during this last year that I felt in being on the council. It also had to do with maybe sometimes challenging me with my own Native spirituality and belief in traditions. And right now I have approximately a little over 18 and a half years of sobriety, and I was worried that that might be at risk too. But I was able to dig down deep, and also being able to get the strength that I needed to continue on. It had to do with the stress and pressure that I was feeling with the many decisions that were made in the past year with the new casino operations that seemed to circumvent the process of involvement of the tribal council and administration versus the tribal business. And I thought at one point that they were supposed to be separate. It had to do with not being informed of decisions that were being made, and people from the community asking me as an elected official what was going on, and I wasn't able to share that information with them because I didn't feel that I knew. And I tried to find that information out. I had to learn some of this from our tribal members. I had to learn some of this through rumors that were being in the community. And again, that was a real struggle for me, because I wanted to make sure that when people asked me things that I could share that with them. One aspect that has been mentioned and out there in the community is consideration and condemning the church property, turning the powwow grounds into a gas station and grocery store, eliminating the campground for 50 or more hotel rooms in the next 2 years, and expanding the marina from where it is over to the current Old Dock area. I don't know if those are true or not, but that's what I've heard, and I wanted to find out and try to make sure that I could respond to people when they ask me those things. I am personally not in support of condemning church property or any property within our community, because from what I understand, especially for the church property, it was given to the church by, and I don't remember his first name, and I do apologize, but a member of the Buffalo family that donated that for the school, the church, and the convent. It went back to probably over 100 years, and there has been there to serve our community in a number of ways. By services, by school, by baseball games, by having powwows there, other kind of celebrations like we just had there this past week with the summer gathering. My personal thought is to consider condemning totally goes against our traditional and native beliefs and how we should respect the land, and how we should respect the intent of Mr. Buffalo for what he intended to do. We should respect that decision that was made by the local church group, which is the majority are tribal members, and should respect and obtain input from tribal and community members that they would like us to see the existing grounds and how they would like to see the existing grounds. So I went through all that on June 17th, and I made that decision that I was going to withdraw and resign because I was in a real conflict with a lot of things. I didn't tell anybody, but in the next few days, many people came to me and appreciated and told me how they appreciated the questions that I would have, the discussions that I encouraged at our meetings. And it was through that that I got that strength that I needed to continue on. So I want to thank you for electing me to this position, and I feel very honored and humbled. And as a tribal treasurer, some of the ideas that I would like to work on in this next 2 years is continue to work with the staff in the accounting office to increase that financial management system that we have. And again, over the last 2 or 3 years, the improvements that have been made have just been astounding. And it's things that we need in order to survive as a tribe. In conjunction with my theme of increasing tribal involvement, I'd like to reinstitute the Finance Committee that was started a few years ago, which was also started way back, when we had a financial crisis. But to be able to have them involved in that government process so that we can look at the budget, we can look at the future, we can look and see what our operations need to look like on the tribal government side, tribal program side.